go ahead and make a card for you guys today using some craft cardstock for our base. We'll make a standard size card, be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This card's very simple. I'm going to be using 2 pieces of patterned paper for this card. The busier patterned paper is going to be our base, and the more solid color is going to be what we're going to stamp with. I'm going to go ahead and cut this paper down, speed this up for you. The bigger piece of patterned paper here, we're going to cut that to be 4 1/2 by 3 1/2. I'll go ahead and make those cuts. Okay, get that out of the way there. The second piece of paper is where we're going to do our stamping. So this one's going to be smaller. We're going to cut that at 1 1/2 by 3 inches. Alright. So this is going to be the basic layout of the card. We're going to put patterned paper in the background. We're going to bring up a smaller piece of paper. We're just going to have our sentiment on it. And that's what it's basically going to look at. But to bring some more attention to the card, a little more interest, I'm going to go ahead and punch the corners after I decide out which direction I want the patterned paper to be in. Alright, so I'm going to use the We Are Memory Keeper's corner chomper on the 1/2 inch setting to cut the patterned paper. We're just going to cut the 2 inner sides. Lay it on the cardstock just like that. And then on the smaller piece, I'm going to go ahead and turn my corner chomper over and use the 1/4 inch side to have a little variance and get those 2 pieces punched. Okay, so already the card's coming together, but to give it a little more dimension, I'm going to go ahead and ink up the edges. I'm going to use some Tim Holtz Distress ink for that. I'm going to speed this up for you too. I got my applicator and my ink, and we'll just distress 3 sides. So just rubbing the ink on it to give it a nice edged look. I don't want it to be very distressed, so I'm not applying a whole lot of ink. And we're just going to do the 3 sides, the inner sides. I'm going to do that on the smaller piece as well. Alright. This way you can see there's definite definition between the 2 pieces of patterned paper. So when you line them up on the card, you can see some distinction and things don't kind of run together. So I'm going to go ahead and do our stamping now. I'm going to say okay, this stamp is from Hero Arts. This is just saying hello. I'm going to use some color box fluid chalk ink and charcoal. I'll line up my piece of paper, ink up my stamp, and get that sentiment on the piece of paper there. Alright, then I'll just clean off my stamp with a baby wipe. Get my ink pad put away. And then we can go ahead and set up our card. So I'm just using some snail adhesive for this. This is Tombow Mono. Get each side real well. And a little bit in the center. Then I'm going to line up my card on my grid. The card itself is 5 1/2. And we cut the piece of paper at 4 1/2 so I can use my grid to line it up. 1/2 inch on each side, make sure it's nice and centered. And then I'll put the smaller piece on. And that one's going to be 1 1/2 inches up from the bottom, so I'll line up my card again. And place it 1 1/2 inches from the bottom. And then I'm just going to chomp the outer corners of my card to bring in the theme. And there you have it.